Hi, welcome to Humble Warrior Yoga. I'm Caroline and today I'm going to be guiding you through a practice for the hips. So when you're ready, I'm going to come down to the ground, keep the knees bent and take the feet out as wide as the mat. And just allow the knees to drop in together. Arms can be out by the sides, or maybe you want to rest them on your belly. Really taking one hand to the chest and one hand to the belly. Closing down the eyes, straight away connecting to the breath, just noticing what your breath feels like today. If you're feeling quite anxious, you might notice your breath start quite shallow and rapid. There's no right or wrong, just noticing what your breath's like today. And then finding our equal parts breathing. So making the inhalations and exhalations equal in length. You can count in your head to help you with that. Maybe you're breathing in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 4. And seeing if you can maintain that breathing throughout your practice today. Every time you feel a bit challenged or you get a bit stuck, you just come back to the breath. If you need to take a rest at any point, you can just hit that pause button and rejoin whenever you're ready. So take the arms out by the side and you can open your eyes now. Take the knees out wider, so we draw them away from each other. We're just going to gently drop the legs over to one side. Inhale, come back to centre. Exhale, take it to the opposite side. And keep that going with your breath. Inhale to centre, exhale, over to one side. We're starting to get some movement into the hips, internally and externally rotating the hips. It probably feels quite good on the lower back too. Nice. And coming back to neutral. Just bring the feet in line with the hips. You're going to bring your shins up so that they're parallel with the ceiling. Bring the hands, interlace the fingers behind the head. I'm going to keep the elbows out wide. If you're able to, lift the head off the mat, just coming onto the bottoms of the shoulder blades. And then you're going to inhale, send the left leg away, lengthen it out. At the same time, you're going to reach the left arm towards the right side. Exhale back to centre. Inhale, right leg goes out long. Right arm crosses over to the left. Keep it going. Exhale back to centre. Inhale, sending the leg out. Exhale to centre. If it's a bit too much to be lifted, you can of course keep your head down and just lift every time you send the leg out. More of a challenge, you're up on the shoulder blades. One more to each side. And draw the knees in towards the chest, lower the head to the ground. Just have a little rock here, you can rock side to side, just releasing those muscles you just used. Massaging the lower back into the ground. I'm going to start to make some circles. So bring the hands to the knees, you're going to make big circles with the knees. taking them out to the side, in towards you, pulling away. More movement into those hip joints. Probably feel really good if you sit at a desk all day or you do something where you sit down a lot. When we've done a few one way, just take those in the opposite direction. Stillness, you're going to keep the right leg drawn in towards the chest, send the left leg out long down the mat. Bring the left hand to the right knee, the right arm goes out to the side just for support. You're going to gently draw that right leg across the left side of the body. It won't come all the way down. Just try to keep both shoulder blades grounding down into the mat. And if you have the range of movement, you can try and straighten that leg too. Deepen the stretch. Flex the toes. Coming all the way back to centre. We're just going to change sides. So bringing that left knee in towards the chest, sending the right leg out long. The right palm to the left knee. Take the left arm out for support. Just gently guiding the left leg over. Keeping both shoulder blades ground down. And if you wanted to, working to straighten that leg. The leg is straight, make sure you're flexing through the toes. Nice, come back to centre. Draw both knees in towards the chest. And you're either just going to roll onto one side, use your hands to press up, or you can take hold behind the back of the thighs and get into rock and roll up the length of the spine. Trying to keep the toes off the mat, using those abdominals that we just activated. Only coming back as far as your mid-back. You don't want to roll over onto the neck. We've done a few of those. Going to meet on hands and knees. We'll come into a tabletop position. Take the hands as wide as the shoulders. Really spread through the fingers. Shoulders are over the wrists. Knees are underneath the hips. And these are hip width apart. On inhale, lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Rolling through the spine. Chest comes forward. Head lifts. Think of drawing the shoulder blades towards each other across the back. Exhale, tilting the tailbone down towards the mat. Arching through the spine. Coming up like an angry cat. Allow the head to drop. Shoulder blades gliding away from one another. Do that twice more with your own breath. So inhale, send the tailbone up high. Belly drops down, chest comes forwards. Exhale, curl the tailbone down, rounding through the spine. Head comes down. Once more. Inhaling to come forward. Exhaling, taking it in the other direction. Come back to your neutral tabletop position. We're going to send the hips over to the right, circling back down towards the heels, coming over to the left, coming forwards. We're making really big circles. If it hurts the wrist when you come forward, just don't come quite as far forwards. So hopefully by now the hips are starting to feel really nice and fluid. And then take those circles in the other direction. And then back to tabletop. From your neutral position, I'll shake the left side first. You're going to take this left leg out to the side and think of a dog cocking its leg. Not a nice image, I know, but it's effective. We're going to start making some big circles from here. Really think of letting the movement come from the hip joint. Keep the core strong. And then take them in the opposite direction. And bringing that knee back down. We're going to do that on the other side. When you're ready, taking the right leg out to the side, and starting to make those circles. Take them in the other direction. Bring the knee back. You're going to tuck the toes, sit back towards the heels, walk the hands out in front a little way. Press into the palms, lift the knees. You're going to send the hips up high and back into downward facing dog. Straight away start to pedal out the knees, bending into one leg and straightening the other. Making any small movements that feel good. And come to stillness. Send the right leg out behind you. Keep the hips level. There's that temptation to take it over. Bend that right knee. And take the toes over towards the left side of the mat. Keep both the shoulders level. Straighten and square that leg off. You're going to draw the knee in towards the chest, coming up onto the toes, stepping it forward into a low lunge. If that's not possible for you today, you can come to the knees and step the foot up. Join us there. So wherever you are, lower that back knee. So we're in our low lunge. Just take a couple of breaths. Check your alignment. Try and make sure this front knee is over the front ankle. It's okay to be further back, but we don't really want to take it past the ankle joint. Just puts extra stress on both of the joints, which we don't really need to. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Swing the hips forward and down. Take a nice wide V with the arms. Give your shoulders some space. Exhale, plug the palms back down. Shifting the hips back. This left hip is going to stay over the left knee. Flexing the right toes towards the face. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, folding over the leg. That's too intense, just keep a bend in the knee. Bending back into that right knee, roll through that foot, plant the palms. You're going to tuck the toes, lift the back knee, and just pivot that back foot down. I'm going to rise up, chest faces the front, hips faces the front. Arms sweep up and over, warrior one. Try and keep that front knee over the front ankle. Press down evenly through both feet. And then bring the hands to the collarbones. And think of rotating from the waist. We're not moving the bottom half of the body. As you twist open to the side. Taking the arms out, warrior two. Just make sure this front knee is tracking over the toes. There's always that temptation where it will want to roll in. Keep the thigh actively rolling outwards. And think of sending energy out through the fingers. I always like to think of Spider-Man shooting his webs. Make sure you're pressing down through the outer edge of this back foot. So we're engaging both of the thighs. One more deep breath here. Turn the right palm to face up. The left palm comes down to the left thigh. You take that arm up overhead. Reach through the fingers, but keep the shoulder blade nice down the back. Not hoisting it up towards the ear. Take a side bend over towards that left leg. Really feeling the length from the hip right up to the fingertips. Inhale back to warrior two. Now coming forwards, bring the forearm to the thigh, left arm up overhead. Try not to dump your weight into the thigh, we're just resting the arm here. And if you have that range of movement, you can bring the right palm down to the ground and extend the left arm further overhead. So either here or here. One more breath. And rotate the body back down towards the mat, planting the palms. Just pivot back onto the toes of that back foot. And then step the right foot back to meet the left, push the hips up and back. So back and downward facing dog. Either take 3 long breaths here, or we can drop the knees and come into a child's pose. So wherever you were, we're just going to meet back in downward facing dog and do the other side. And when you're ready, extend the left leg out behind, keep the hips square, toes pointing down, then bend that knee and take the toes over towards the right. Try and keep the shoulders both level. Just straighten and square the leg off. Bring that knee in towards the chest, coming up onto the back toes, stepping it forwards. Or if you did it from hands and knees, do it the same this way. Drop that back knee. Just take a few breaths to adjust your stance. Maybe you need to bring that back knee in a little closer. Just find where's comfortable for you. Make sure the front knee's over the front ankle. And as you're ready, sweeping the arms up. Taking the arms out as wide as feels good. See if you can sink the hips a little lower, a little further forwards. Exhale, bring the palms back down. Shift the hips back so this right hip is over the right knee. And flexing the left toes towards the face. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, folding over. One more breath. Exhale, coming forwards, bending the knee, rolling through the foot. Plant both palms, tuck the back toes, lifting the back knee. You're going to pivot that foot down and rise up into warrior one. Arms overhead when you're ready. I'm just going to turn the other way so you can see. So the hips are facing the front leg, the chest is facing the front leg. And take the arms as wide as you need. Bring the hands to the collarbones, twist them from the waist, the legs stay exactly as they are. Not letting this front thigh roll in. Arms out, shoulder height. And adjust your feet if you need to. When you're ready, flip that left palm to face up, right palm comes down to this back leg. Taking the fingertips up, really reach and lengthen through this side body before bending over towards the back leg. Coming back to warrior two. And coming forwards, picking the forearm to the thigh, right arm overhead. Again, if you have that range of movement, palm to the ground and extend that top arm further. So we're here, or we're here. So remember not to dump that weight into the thigh, we're just resting. And then turning the torso back down towards the mat, plant the palms. You're going to step the left foot back to meet the right, push the hips up and back, pedal it out. And then bringing the knees down, take them out as wide as the mat, bring the big toes to touch. Sitting the hips towards the heels, melting the heart and the head down. If your head doesn't come down to the mat, you could just pop one hand on top of the other, rest in the forehead. If your arms are extended, just keep a slight bend in the elbows, relaxing the shoulders. You can walk your hands over to the right side of the mat, feeling a nice stretch down the left side body. Slowly walk the hands back through centre and take it to the left. Stretching through the right side body. Walking back to centre. Just walk your hands towards you so the body comes up. We're going to make our way down onto our backs again. Take your time getting there. Move with control. So taking the feet out as wide as the mat like we did at the start. Take the arms out to the sides to support you. Going to drop the knees to one side. And if you can, bring that left ankle over the right knee. If that's too intense, just stay where you were. Try and keep both shoulder blades down on the ground. Breathe deeply. Imagine sending breath to this outer right hip. And the lower back. And then you're going to bring the knees back up to centre. So you find yourself in this kind of figure four shape with the legs. You're either going to stay here or draw the right knee in towards you and interlace the hands behind. And just gently pressing this left knee out. Feel a nice stretch in the glute area, the outer hip. Relax the shoulders down, not using any arm strength. One more breath. And gently release. Coming back with your feet as wide as the mat, arms out to the sides, and take the knees over towards the right. And bringing that right ankle, placing it on top of the left knee. Feel a nice stretch through this outer side of the hip. Keep both shoulders down on the ground. And bringing the knees back up. we're making that nice figure 4 shape with our legs again. If that's enough for you here, you're going to stay right here, just working to press this right knee away. Otherwise, you can bring the left thigh forwards, interlacing the hands behind. And just keep the upper body relaxed. One more breath. Bring the foot back down, unravel the legs. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together and just allow the knees to drop out to the sides. That's quite uncomfortable. You could always get a couple of cushions and place them under your thighs for support, or you could use your hands. Otherwise, hands can be out at the sides or resting on the belly. Just closing down the eyes. Trying to find that equal parts breathing again. Most of us probably lost it somewhere along the way. And as you're ready to, just taking the legs out long down the mat. Let the feet just splay open to the sides. Take out some space, take the arms out wide. Close down the eyes. And soften the body into the ground. Let the breath return to its own natural rhythm. Just mentally scan through the body, seeing if there's any areas where you feel you're holding tension still. And seeing if we can soften just a little. Just know that there's no work to be done now. Give yourself the permission to relax and restore. If you have time, you can stay here for a while longer. Otherwise, start to make some small movements, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Maybe rock the head from side to side. Put the arms overhead for a nice big stretch. And draw the knees in towards the chest. Take one arm overhead, just going to roll gently onto one side. Stay here for a moment. When you're ready, press into the hands, come back to a seat. Bring the hands together in front of the heart space. Just bow the head. Namaste.